Hey y'all, so we're getting straight into today's video, my bad. So my client, her nail broke, so we decided to do a nail repair and a filling. So I'm just drilling that down and making it as thin as possible. So once I get done drilling, I just dust her hand off, and then I'm gonna get some aluminum foil and cotton balls so I can just soak that nail off while I prepare the rest of her nails. So I prefer to do aluminum foil in a cotton ball instead of just soaking it in the bowl, is because like the air sometimes tends to mess up the chemical balance of the acetone, and sometimes it makes it take longer to soak off. So this is a lot easier than just using a bowl and soaking in acetone. So while that nail sits in soaking acetone, I'm going to drill the rest of the nails because she had a French tip, so we're just going to drill off all that extra nail polish off. I am using a ceramic bit. It's a medium grit that I got off Amazon. And a lot of this is also going to be sped up throughout the video. So once I'm done drilling, I go ahead and use my cuticle pusher and I push back her cuticles. It may seem like I'm going super hard and rough, but really I'm not. I just naturally kind of go fast, but it's not to the point where it hurts the client at all. Side note, the vent decided to come on while I started recording, so please ignore the background noise, y'all. I'm so sorry about that. So once I'm done pushing back the cuticles, I then use my cuticle bit that I also got off Amazon, and then I just go around the cuticles and push back the extra layer of dead skin that I wasn't able to get with my cuticle pusher. Also, once again, this is also sped up, so I'm not going this fast or this hard on my client's cuticles. After my cuticle bit, I then go in with my sanding bit. I'm pretty sure this is a 180 grit, and I just go around the cuticles, just once again to prep the nail. And basically this is like a way to buff the nail and get rid of all that excess oil that may still be lying around the nails. I then glue on this nail tip. I prefer to take the nail and measure it right underneath the nail, looking from underneath. That way the nail doesn't end up being crooked later on when I'm looking at it. So that's just an easy step for me to make sure that all my nails are on the right path and being straight and not sideways. Then I just proceed to just cut the nail. I like to measure it up, usually with the middle finger or the nail that's right next to it. In this case, it is the middle finger. So I usually do all the nails based off the middle finger, except for the pinky and the thumb. I kind of just wing those. And I make sure that I just cut as straight as possible. Sometimes I use the other more of the curve nipper, but mine so happens to broke and I just haven't bought a new one, so I've been just using these little baby scissors and thugging it out. Then I'm going to go ahead and start shaping up this nail. Usually when I shape, I go from sidewall to sidewall and then I'll go straight across the tip. I tend to do like a little curve. That's just like my preference. And then I will flip the hand to make sure I can see it from my client's point of view. I didn't show it in this video, but then I go ahead and just buff the nail tip with the nail file instead of going over it with the drill. But I think in this video I do go over it with the drill as well. When you are drilling with a drill, you want to make sure that you're filing majorly on the nail tip and not on the client's nail bed, just so we don't cause any ring of fire or burning sensations. So this is what I was talking about when I'm gonna flip her hand over and I look at it from her point of view, so that way I can make sure the nails are straight and not even, because sometimes when you're filing really hard, you can actually make one side lopsided, but you can't necessarily see that from your point of view. So I recommend always flipping the hand over so you can see it from the client's perspective. Once I'm done, I then begin to prime the nails. I believe I use a no lift primer. I've been pretty much using that, and I also use the Young Nails nail bond, but I didn't show it in this video. Okay, so now it's application. Application always intimidates me. I don't care how many times I do it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take your bead. Make sure your bead is not too wet. Also, you don't want to be too dry where it doesn't flow down. I hold my client's fingernail in a like downward but upward position, so that way the acrylic naturally flows down to the natural shape of the nail. I clean up the side of the nails by using my brush and just cleaning the side wall so we can keep the shape. Also, I usually do one bead when I do short nails, but I think in this video, I did 2 beads throughout the video. Even when I was doing the filling, I think I did like 2 beads on every nail. Sometimes you may have to use more than 2. You may have to use 3. Sometimes you might have to use 4. It really all depends on what you think is the right amount to keep the structure and shape, especially because like you want the nail to be just as perfect as you can. So like you don't want to be too fat, but you also don't want it to just be too thin where you can like see empty spots, or like if you just know it's not up to par, make sure you get it right. So to clean underneath the nail, I did take my cuticle pusher and just like clean that little curve. I learned a little trick from, I believe her name is from Nail Top Barbie. I might be saying that so wrong, but she said like she dips her cuticle pusher in the powder just so that way it keeps the nail clean and doesn't mess it up. And that was my first time doing it and it worked perfectly. So I definitely recommend giving that a try. So now I'm going to take my second bead. I do not place it right at the cuticle because it's going to leak and you do not want it to flood the cuticle. So what you do is you place your bead and you make sure that it's not super wet, and you place it slightly underneath where the actual cuticle is. And if you do still happen to have a couple of floods, like little minor floods, you can go ahead and clean that as long as it's not too bad. Because if that nail gets flooded in the cuticle area, I'm telling you now, your nails is done. 1, it's not gonna look good. 2, it's less work for you to have to do. And 3, you do not want them nails to pop off. I'm telling you now, I've experienced that when I first started. I used to flood people's nails and they'd be like, hey Reese, my nails popped off. So I recommend just do not push that bead super close underneath the cuticle. Go underneath, and then if you need to, you can take a smaller bead and slightly adjust, but do not under any circumstances go right below the cuticle area. This is another side note, y'all. I'm so upset because I should have recorded from a higher up angle. I don't like this side view is cool or whatever, but like I really should have got an higher up angle. I will once I order my tripod, but yeah, I had to say that because I feel like dang, like it can't really get the full effect and see like how I work in the cuticle area. So for future references, we will have better videos where you can actually see like my cuticle work and just the overall, idea of how you should be doing nails. So for the rest of this video, I'm pretty much going to use like 1 bead for the remainder of this set because it is a fill-in and not an actual full set. So I'm not going to explain as much anymore. I'm just going to kind of let you guys see and watch me work. However, So for the remainder of this video, as well as far as application process goes, I'm just going to probably use one bead. Since this is a fill-in and not an actual full set, I may also go in once again with more than one bead because, you know, I may just need to fill in a couple places here and there. But other than that, I pretty much won't be saying anything else. You guys can just watch me work.
Tell me what you see in me. Gotta be something different. You must be made for me. Patience is everything. In and out, in and out, in and out. Arguing, trifling, difficult. Let go. I don't know.
Okay, y'all, so I lied. I am gonna say something else real quick. So in this part, you can actually kind of see my application process for the thumb slightly. As you can see, I did not do the beads super close to the cuticle area, and I pretty much did like I think one bead in this thumb. So now we're just gonna shape the nail. I do sidewall to sidewall and over the nail. I like to shape all my nails by hand. I don't really like to use the drill unless I'm really cleaning up. That's pretty much all I use it for. I really don't have to drill that much because I shape everything by hand. And that's probably why my hand be hurting so bad, because I just feel like most of the work should be done by your hand because the work is cleaner and the drill doesn't get it as good as I can do it with my own hands. And so y'all can see I'm just cleaning up over the cuticles, making sure that I seal it, and that if there was any flooding, I cleaned it up as much as possible. There shouldn't be really much drilling I have to do because once again, this is a fill-in and not an actual full set, but I really don't have to clean up that much even when it is a full set. I just do lightly over the cuticles, and I don't do it where it's super close where I'm cutting anybody. I'm still using my medium grit as well. When drilling, I prefer to have my drill on, I believe, 8 KRPMs. That way it's not super fast and I'm just drilling off too much acrylic. Here, I just take my cuticle oil and I'm going to, of course, brush it over the cuticles. I did clean and spray her hands. I do a lot of that throughout while I'm working. I just didn't show a lot of that in this video. And then when I do take the cuticle oil, I'm going to take the brush that I use on my clients, the same brush I've been using on my client throughout the day, and I'm just going to take that and you really brush in the cuticle oil. That way it makes it easier when I buff for later. So as I mentioned earlier, I do brush in the cuticle oil, and I do I like to do that before I buff because since I file everything by my hand, it does leave scratch marks, and so I like to get rid of those scratch marks as good as possible. And when you have oil before you buff, it helps make it a lot more smoother. So now I just clean the hand. I spray it with some alcohol, and I use a lint-free cloth, well, not cloth, like cotton ball or whatever, and I just wipe across all the fingers, and I try to get rid of all the dust, you know, even between our fingers if I need to, just that way we don't have any hairs and all the extra stuff while we polishing. Because I swear to God, every time I have to polish or do designs, there's some particles, some kind of dust, some type of hair all on my way, and it just makes me mad because I can't stand that happens. That's why I also keep a pair of tweezers with me. That way I can just remove them little ghetto hairs out the way. So for today's design, y'all see my nails, they cute, and my natural nails. My cousin also do nails, so book with her. LOL, I'm gonna tag her below. But like I said, so for today's design, she wanted to do simple line art, something that I've already done. She showed me like a picture off my booking site or whatever, and so I asked her what color she wanted, and she was like, she didn't know. And I was like, it don't matter. And she was like, it don't matter. So originally I didn't know what colors to do. You know, I'd be excited when people let me do whatever I want, but then when it's time to do it, I'd be so nervous because I'd be having too many thoughts in my mind. As y'all can see, like, I'm rambling out. And I don't be knowing what to do. So I started off doing pinks. So originally I was going to do all shades of pink. And then I was like, these pinks almost all look the same, or they weren't really in the shade of pink that I was going for. So I end up doing shades of pink and shades of purple, and they turned out so cute, y'all. I can't wait to show y'all towards the end. But yeah, so for this type of design, I just use my liner brushes that I also got off of Amazon, and I use the more like skinnier brush because I don't like the lines to be too fat, and I just kind of do a line straight across and then a line at a diagonal, and they are super cute. So I'm gonna just shut up and let y'all see. Side note, so when I do anything hand painting or just like simple art, I do have my clients cure their hands between each nail for like 30 seconds, just to make sure that polish is all the way sealed and I don't mess anything up or my client mess anything up, because clients love to stick their hands in their pockets and their purses and when they're not supposed to at all. So just to lower the risk of anything happening while I'm designing, I just cure the nail. Look at that. Y'all can already tell these nails gonna be fire. Look at that. Look at them pinks and the purples. Yeah. And then I just go over it with a clear polish. I make sure to always clean the hand again before applying the gel top coat, because once again, them stray hairs, yeah, as y'all can see right there, I was trying to remove the little hairs because they always seem to make their way back on them nails though.